Hi, today we're going to talk about food addiction and just how strong those cravings can really be. And I'm going to give you 2 tips on how to get those cravings under control. So when I first started trying to get back into getting my health under control, one of the things that I really was not anticipating was just how strong of a hold food can have on you. And that food addiction is very, very real. Now, we have such an acceptance of addiction when it comes to things like alcohol and drug abuse. And when it comes to food, it's kind of a laughed about subject. And this is very typical. It's not uncommon to see somebody, when you talk about like obesity, that it's just all willpower. And, people will even joke about it, that, it's just, quit eating so much. But there's, I think, a little bit of a lack of appreciation for just how strategic the food industry has become at targeting what you eat to make it an addictive product that you will buy and that you can't stop eating. And for me, this really showed itself when I was trying to give up ice cream. Ice cream for me was a very addictive problem food for me. I can't stop eating it. I can never get enough of it. I crave it all the time. I love ice cream. I still do. But for me, I couldn't give it up. And I remember that in my head, I knew that I shouldn't be eating it. I knew the damage it was going to do to me. I knew how I would feel after I ate it. And I still, even knowing all of these things, would find myself circling like a Dairy Queen and having this devil and angel on my shoulder kind of effect of having an internal struggle and battle about trying to negotiate why I should be giving myself this treat. And sometimes it would go as far as me actually calling a friend or a family member and like trying to get someone to talk to, because I would still be struggling, driving circles around this store. And I would go so far as to even buy it and then throw it in the trash. And this is so sad because I see this all the time with other people. And you see grown adults who are intelligent and educated. And the addictiveness of these foods is so strong that even people in those circumstances are still losing the battle. They're still making the decision to go ahead and do it. Even though seconds and minutes later, they have the repercussions that they live with from it. And it is really a ugly part of the food industry that they are making foods that are so addictive that you can't put them down. And that it's being created in a way to really suck you in so that you'll spend more money. So for me, what I'm going to offer up is 2 things that I would recommend for you to start trying to conquer this early on in your goals to trying to create better health. And the first thing is when we start pursuing a different healthy lifestyle, it's pretty common to hit it with a big broad scope. But what I find is that I did well when I hit a lot of different areas. I did well on most of them, but it was that one addictive thing, or those 2 or 3 addictive things that would ruin all the efforts I was putting in everywhere else. So my first tip for you is to recommend to you that you identify to really look inside and to identify 1 or 2 of your real addictive weaknesses when it comes to food. And you'll be able to answer that question if you really look inside. Look at the things that you gorge on. Look at the timing of when you eat them. Is it something that you are in a habit of eating at the end of the day? I used to have a habit of going and getting ice cream every day after work and being sneaky about it even, because I was embarrassed by the fact that this thing had such a hold on me. But find those 1 or 2 items that really you can honestly look deep inside and say, this has a hold on me. And then start looking at some ways of how you're going to replace those items. And for me, what I would say that I would recommend is 1, making sure they're not in your home. As a matter of fact, I would recommend that you just stay away from all processed and packaged products, because even when the ingredients look like they're healthy, the industry is doing such a good job of hiding these addictive elements in the products that really you're just putting yourself at risk. So to make it easier, it's just like if you're quitting cigarettes, there's this mentality, if I wean myself off of it, and I'm going to call bullshit on that. Weaning yourself off of this stuff just doesn't work. It's designed to be addictive. So just like cigarettes, for me, it's better when I quit that kind of thing to just quit it and not have it around me, and then to substitute something I like, whether it's a thought or whether it's an action that's positive and healthy, to replace that with. So that's the first item, is to not have those products around you. Stay away from the packaged and processed foods. And the second tip is identifying one or two of those elements that are truly getting a hold of you, and then coming up with a plan so that, part of the winning this battle is actually knowing what the enemy is. And once you're able to identify it, then you're able to start coming up with a plan of action of how you're going to stay away from it and what you're going to do if you start to get tempted, whether that's replacing it with something else, replacing it with a positive thing, or something that's more conducive towards moving you in the direction that you want. So I hope these tips help, and I hope you have a great evening. Check out primalsensei.com and like, subscribe, or follow. Make sure you share it with a friend, and happy health.